Hey, my friends, and welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. And on today's episode of the show, we're going to be giving you our Week 14 Monday Night Football recap, and we're going to give you that preview for Week number 15. I'm, of course, your host, David On Point Huffman. I'm joined, of course, by my co-host, Mr. T.J. Hopkins, and from the Daily Blitz.blog, Mr. Christian Simpson. Welcome to the show. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what we're doing here at Prime Sports World. And a very happy Tuesday to my esteemed panelists as we get ready to break down another week in the National Football League. Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing?
I was good until TJ came into the show.
See, certain ignorance don't deserve a response. So
you just responded.
Just go.
You just responded.
Let's swing right into Monday Night Football. Let's not waste any more time. Chargers winning overtime, 22-19 behind Cameron Dicker, the kicker, as that guy just blasts. He does a 55-yard field goal to win the game. I think actually a 55-yard field goal to tie the game, and they kicked a 45-yarder in overtime in order to take the lead. Obviously, Jalen Hurts, not a great day at the office. Probably one of his worst games of his career. First player in NFL history to have 4 picks and then have a fumble. Or I think he's the first player to have a fumble and a pick on the same play. So a little bit of history there for Jalen Hurts. 21 of 40, 240 yards and 4 interceptions. They wasted a very good Saquon Barkley game, which we have not seen that much of this season. 20 for 122 yards and a tutty. A.J. Brown for 6 for 100. On the other side, the Chargers, Justin Herbert obviously in a lot of pain for majority of this game. Just a gutty effort by Justin Herbert, but the numbers were not impressive at all. 12 of 26, 139 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. He also led this team in rushing yards, and the lone receiving touchdown was caught by Marion Hampton. Just a kind of a sloppy, messy game between these two teams as the Chargers going to win 22-19. And a game they kind of had to have in order to kind of stay alive with the way the AFC is shaking out right now.
Yeah, that was probably Jalen Hurts' worst game of his career, minus any game from his rookie year where he just
worst period of like him being a bona fide starter, right? Like, it's been a.
Like this was like he was the first player to have 2 turnovers on the same play or same drive rather since like 1978 or some shit like that. Like some obscure stat like that. It's just like it's like one of those like how the hell do you have that statistic ready?
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Like just one of those. Like it was a weird game. Like it's been a weird season all around for the Philadelphia Eagles. And that being said, they're still 8-5.
Yeah, I mean they're still in the driver's seat in the NFC East.
The rest of
those teams in that division just stink right now.
There's nothing come playoffs. Like there's nothing about this team that says, hey, look out for Philly. I mean, like you still gotta respect them, right? Like they the Super Bowl champs. Like they got moments like you said, like Saquon Barkley, he had over 100 yards. Like literally half of that came on one run, but that's just the type of player.
Yeah. I mean, he had a 55-yard rush, but I mean, it's like when people are like, "Oh, that video game wouldn't be very, very good if Batman wasn't in it," but he's in it. He's in it.
So it's like it, and like it's just frustrating because it's like he's making throw, like he's throwing the ball. Like some of those interceptions were awful.
Yeah, terrible. I mean, awful. You could say the play of Jalen Hurts. I know he only had 3 picks coming into this game, but I mean he's just made some head scratching decisions. And this offense really hasn't been the offense that we saw last season. We haven't seen that this year, and we understand that the offensive line has been a little bit in flux this year compared to last year. I want to talk about the Chargers, though, a little bit more. I mean, I think this was a borderline must-win game for the Chargers in order to keep their spot because they have a gauntlet coming up here. I mean, they have their last 4 games are all teams that are like in the hunt for the playoffs. And if they if they lost this game to fall at 8-5, I think they would have a hard time even making the playoffs given the schedule that they have coming up. This is a huge win for the Chargers.
Yeah, it definitely is. But I kind of want to. I kind of want to go back to the Eagles because they did everything right to win that game, except for the turnovers. I mean, A.J. Brown was a factor. He had over 100 yards receiving. Dallas Goedert, who I've been calling for them to use a little bit more, he had himself a game. Saquon had over 100 yards rushing. The defense got to Justin Herbert 7 times. That's a formula for a win. But the turnovers
normally when you put them kind of numbers on paper, like you usually win that game. But
yeah,
and to the Chargers, like they, how like when they the marquee matchups, like when they do like the player introductions, they show like the rank, like where they rank out of their respective position.
Well, they don't do that on Monday Night Football. They do only do that on Sunday night. But
whatever. But like somebody showed the graphic on Twitter, and it's the same lineup for the Chargers. It hasn't changed much. Like some of their offensive line members are literally like second to last, third to last in their respective center guard position, and it's just like I want like they're 9 and what they got 9 wins, and we have to keep in mind Joe Alt has been gone for a minute. Rashawn
Slater hasn't played a game this season.
Hasn't played a game at all. And so it just makes me wonder like what this team will be, or what they could be rather. Those two guys are healthy, because you lose Rashawn Slater before the season even starts. So they're just like, all right, Joe Alt, you're just gonna swing to that left tackle spot, and then we'll go from there. And then unfortunately you lose him to a high ankle sprain, and then he comes back and then he re-sprains that same ankle worse, and now he's out for the season. And it's like, so Justin Herbert's getting his ass kicked game in and game out. Like you said, 7 sacks. Imagine like legit going into your film session today and be like, yo, we sacked this motherfucker 7 times and we lost. Like the defense gave up 1 touchdown.
I also think that's a testament to how good of a head coach that Jim Harbaugh is. Like, they didn't have a Marion Hampton for weeks in this season. Like, their running game's been in flux most of the year. I mean, their wide receiving core has been kind of hit or miss majority of the season. The fact that this team is 9-4 is a miracle. I mean, Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh are steering this ship, and it's just.
Before we switch over and like give our game balls, I just want to say, Justin Herbert, that was an asshole move for you to do to Laura Rutledge. She's just trying to do her damn job, dude, and you're walking away from her, trying to like tell myself, I'm just trying to celebrate with my teammates. You know damn well you supposed to give an interview after the game, and you're just trying to walk. Like, she should not have to grab you to be like, yo, you have to do this interview. Like, that was a dick move from you, dude. Like, that was not cool. Like, somebody's literally trying to do their job, and you're making her life difficult. Not cool.
I guess I missed that because I clicked the game off as soon as it ended. So I guess I missed. So
yeah, that happened.
Wow, that's shitty. You wouldn't really expect that out of Justin Herbert either. So that seems
that's the kick. Like you don't expect that from him.
Yeah, like, I mean, maybe he just got caught up in the moment or something. Who knows? Moving on from there, let's talk about our game balls from week number 14. TJ, you have the floor.
My game ball will go to the Houston Texans defense. That was a clinic. That was nasty. That was I'm gonna get to, like, when we talk about the Chiefs, I'm gonna get to it because like I heard some shit today that was like, I never thought I'd be agreeing with this person who said it, and you'll know who it is when we get to it. But I'm gonna get mine to the Texans defense.
Christian,
I'm giving it to Josh Allen. Just talk about.
Oh,
You stole yours.
oh, that's all right. I got two. So you just need to steal one of mine.
Shit, how was I supposed to know? Anyway,
That's all good.
yeah, 22 or 28, 251 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and he also ran for 1 on the ground.
I'm gonna go. Everybody's writing this guy off. JJ McCarthy in a game where he had to show up and play well, or he was probably going to be looking for a new job next offseason. Had to play well in this game. 16 of 23, 163 yards and 3 touchdowns. Most important part about JJ McCarthy's stat line from this game, 0 interceptions. And I also kind of want to give a shout out to the Bears running game. I know they didn't win that game and the Bears offensive line, but the resilient. When their Bears were down 10-0 or 10-3 at halftime, I kind of thought that game was going to get ugly. The fact that the Bears showed fight and showed resilience, came back and made that a pretty. I mean, they were just a better throw by Caleb Williams for tying that game up and potentially winning, because I think the Bears should have gone for 2 if they had gotten.
They would have. They would have.
Yeah, I think they would have. So I just got to give it to the Bears. I mean, I wasn't super confident of how well they would play in this game. The fact that game was close and admirable without our number 1 wide receiver in Roma Dunze, and Jalen Johnson left that game pretty early too, I think. So I just got to give it to the Bears. They played better than I thought they would.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on from week number 14, let's open up the chapter of the 2025 NFL season to week number 15. And let's start with Thursday night football. We got 2 teams reeling. Both teams need to get a win the worst way. Tampa Bay welcoming into the pirate ship the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons obviously lost to, I don't remember, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fell to the New Orleans Saints in a pretty shocking result there. Many people thought that game was going to be Tampa Bay's get-right game. It turned out not to be the case. The New Orleans win their 3rd game of the season. Falcons, Buccaneers. Christian, talk to me about it.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay is such a completely different team than what we saw at the beginning of the year.
Oh, the Falcons got trounced by the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the injuries, I just think, have been too much for the Buccaneers. I think if they were healthy right now, healthier, you know, I think they'd be up in that bracket with the Rams. I know they just lost to the Rams, but record-wise, I think they'd be a lot better, and I think a lot of people would be looking at them and taking them a little bit more seriously. The Falcons, on the other hand, I've never seen a team find a different way to lose every single week. They can lose in a blowout, like they just did against Seattle. They can lose a close game, just like they did by me a couple against the Jets. I mean, do I need to go on anymore? Listen, I like Tampa, and I got 283 reasons why. You'll get
Yeah, I'm also rolling with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike Evans is close to returning. I don't know if he played against the New Orleans Saints. He doesn't have any stats, so I'm assuming he didn't. But he's close to returning to the lineup, a team that's finally getting healthy, hopefully at the right time. But I'll take Tampa Bay. I think Bucky Irving is going to be the X factor. I think he has a monster game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they look to right the ship, because the Carolina Panthers they need to win this game, and Carolina's right there at their heels. And the best thing that happened was Carolina. They had a bye, and during their bye week, everybody that was important, like the teams they were chasing, all lost. So yeah, give me Tampa Bay.
I'm gonna give me Tampa just off the simple fact that Baker Mayfield is quarterbacking for the Buccaneers. I don't know who's playing QB for the Falcons. If it's Kirk Cousins, it's going to be
Kirk Cousins. They don't have anybody else.
It's going to be a bad day at the office. Just to do a little recap. If you're the Falcons, to Christian's point, they can lose a close game or they can lose a blowout. They were out. That was a 6-6 ball game
at halftime. Yeah, they got blown out. Yeah,
against the.
So I have Sam Darnold. I have Sam Darnold in fantasy, and I'm watching this first half of this game, and I'm like, man, because Sam Darnold's been terrible in fantasy the last 3 weeks, or 4 weeks really, and all of a sudden he blows up and he has like this crazy second half, and I'm like, thank you, Jesus.
And
all right, go ahead.
I got some more fantasy shit, but it's to get outscored 31-3 over the course of the next 30 minutes of gameplay. somebody got to give it down.
I mean, this is a Falcons
but,
team that beat the Carolina Panthers early in the season, 36-0, and they just look like trash since then.
like you're on that sideline and you just watch. First off, shout out to Rashid Shaheed. He has the longest play of the season now, 100-yard kick return. But to be on the Falcons sideline and to just watch them just move the ball, just go up and down the field on you, and you not be able to do nothing.
Well, the problem is that they kept turning it over, so they kept giving short fields to Seattle, and they just kept cashing it in on touchdowns. Like that's literally what happened in that game. Like, it was absurd. Like, Seattle wasn't moving the ball that much. Like their yards were absurd, but they literally had short fields on all three of their touchdowns in the second half, and it was just all she wrote.
Like that was just a bad day. Like I'm well, y'all already know me. Like I'm all for I'm all for firing motherfuckers. Like I will fire somebody in a heartbeat. Raheem Morris, dude, like this is already this is his second coaching job.
Yeah, he was the head coach of the Buccaneers for a hot minute, and then got fired.
Like man,
like if you look at the numbers from these two games, like of these two teams on this drive, like Atlanta had more total plays. They only lost like yardage by less than 90. Like this doesn't look like on the stat sheet a 30 point blowout, but they turned it over 3 times to Seattle's 1, and you turn it over in
plus territory.
On your
negative
plus
territory.
Negative territory over and over again. It's just that's how you lose games.
Yeah, it was bad.
And I do think Raheem Morris is probably going to get his walking papers when this season.
But it's like so it's like going into this game against Tampa, right? Divisional opponent. Tampa, like obviously Tampa needs this. So like if you're Atlanta, what's the response? What's the response to what just happened to you?
Yeah. Moving on from there, swinging into Sunday afternoon football, we got the Chicago Bears welcoming in the Cleveland Browns into Soldiers Field. Obviously, the Browns fell in a close game against the Tennessee Titans, and the Chicago Bears fell to the Green Bay Packers in another close game as well. Last time these two teams played was actually 2 years ago, almost to the date, actually. Christian, do you remember who won that game 2 years ago?
Wow. Was it Cleveland?
Cleveland did win that game 20-17. This is during the Joe Flacco season, where he had 2 touchdowns and 3 picks and somehow won this game. Justin Fields 19 of 40, 1 touchdown and 2 picks. Roshan Johnson was the lead rusher. Based on his stats.
It should have been 1 because he threw a Hail Mary to end the first half. They ruled it an interception, but the replay showed that the ball hit the ground. But because they called it an interception, they couldn't overturn it.
Either way, Roshan Johnson, leading rusher for the Chicago Bears. Jerome Ford, who's still on the roster for the Cleveland Browns. Cole Kmet and David Njoku, the battle of the tight ends, led these teams in receiving yards for their respective teams. Christian, Bears, Browns, 2025. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I've been so happy for Shador because so many people have wanted to see this kid fail.
Still want to see him fail.
Cleveland, they could have won that game, but it was just too many mental lapses when it mattered most. Then, I look at the Bears again. That was a game they could have won, but they turned the ball over when it mattered most. This is going to be entertaining because I remember when these two played in college against each other. Now they're going to face each other in the NFL. I'm going to take the Bears, but I think Cleveland makes this interesting. This kind of has trap game written all over it for the Bears.
A really uncharacteristic defense by the Browns against the Tennessee Titans. Like they let Tony Pollard have a day against that defense. And I know Myles Garrett got the 19th sack, but he was pretty quiet for the remainder of that game against an offensive line that's not that good. And against they had Alec Iomanner. I think he had 2 touchdowns in that game against Cleveland. Just a tough day for that defense. Really uncharacteristic for that Browns defense. I think they get after Caleb Williams. I'm not going to say they're going to win the game, but I think the Bears will win. But I wouldn't be shocked if this game is pretty close and this comes down to the final couple possessions here or there in the fourth quarter. But I think the Bears do just enough to win the game. And I think they should commit to the running game. We see what Tony Pollard did against this defense. Hopefully the Bears can have the same kind of success. Give me the Bears. TJ.
Yeah, all that good shit. Hey, I want Shador the ball, like I really do. Obviously I want the Bears to win. The Bears are gonna win. Like to Christian's point, like Cleveland had a game they should have won. If there's ever been a coach that has hurt his chances of ever getting a job again,
it's Kevin Stefanski.
I totally disagree. I think if they fire Kevin Stefanski, which they probably will, I think he'll have another job right away.
Who?
Kevin Stefanski.
By who?
He's got 2 Coach of the Year awards. I mean, he took that job.
What does that mean?
He's going to be hired.
No.
He's going to be hired by somewhere else.
Coach of the years know how to handle shit. He's handled this in the worst way possible.
He will have another job if he gets fired. When he gets fired this offseason, he will be in the running for another head coaching job immediately.
He handled this situation in the worst way. Like, you've seen Shador's numbers in these first few games. Like, he's already matched or has better numbers than what Dylan Gabriel put up. And Dylan Gabriel played in more games. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you buried
He's not going.
Buried him.
When he gets fired, he will have another job within a season.
The best quarterback on your roster, you buried him. You didn't give him first team reps. Then you try to lie about it like social media is not a thing. Like, bro, we saw you give Dylan Gabriel split reps with Joe Flacco. We saw it. Then when Dylan Gabriel was the starter, every time you did score, if you did score, you didn't do this wildcat bullshit with Dylan Gabriel. The game's on the line. I have no problem with you going for 2, but you didn't see that moment, David. Shador is pointing to his chest like, I'm coming out. I'm coming out. The way I just marched.
Well, I mean, they didn't have a choice but to go for 2. They were down by 2 points. But
David, that's not the point. I know they had to go.
I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm just telling you, when they fire Kevin Stefanski after this season, he will be up for another job immediately.
And then whoever's hired him, hey, best of luck to you. Best of luck to you. Hope you don't have a quarterback on. Hey, you know what? Kevin
Stefanski is a good coach. He's going to have another job.
I can't tell from what the fuck I've been seeing. This is bullshit right here.
I mean, it's one season. Like, let's pump the brakes on the Kevin Stefanski.
Is it one season?
He's taken a bad Browns team to the playoffs 3 separate times, and come on, what are we talking about here?
Kevin Stefanski is a terrible coach. That's what we're talking about.
Anyways, moving into another AFC North opponents. Both of them coming off losses. Baltimore Ravens lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers going into Cincinnati. Hopefully it won't be snowing like it was when they played against Buffalo as they fall to the Buffalo Bengals, Ravens. TJ, talk to me about it. Both these teams, Bengals officially eliminated or might as well be eliminated. The Ravens basically have to win out and need some help from the Pittsburgh Steelers to get back into the playoff picture.
It might not snow, but it will be freezing.
14 degrees is what they're projecting the weather to be when that game goes when they take the field.
The forecast says 14. That 14 gonna feel like
that's not factoring in the wind chill. Yeah, it's gonna be right. It's gonna be like in the teens, like it's gonna be the negatives probably.
It's probably gonna be So how do I know? Because Browns Bears is gonna be in freezing too.
They expect that game to be at 6 degrees when they take the field on Sunday afternoon.
It might not snow. So hey, it's not gonna snow, yay! But we're just gonna freeze our asses off. If you're Cincinnati, if you're Cincinnati, you are just
I mean,
Right?
yeah, you gotta be feeling terrible. I mean, you had Buffalo dead to rights, and then you just implode on yourself in like under 5 minutes. Like it was in the fourth quarter of that game against Buffalo. You throw a terrible pick six, and then on the very next snap,
I can't even say that's a terrible pick six. I just
it
think
was a
that's
great
a
play by
better
Christian Benford.
play.
Yeah, it's
Right,
a
I
pretty
just
good
think that's
play
a better play.
by Christian Benford. But then on the very next snap, you throw another pick, and then they catch that in for a touchdown, and all of a sudden you're winning by 11 points, and like within the blink of an eye, you're losing. It's
I said it. What did I put in the group chat? Buffalo scored 21 points in 4.5 minutes or some shit like like it was
Josh Allen, baby.
That's what's just frustrating about this Bengals season. Like Joe Burrow gets hurt. Like this is like their big what if is what if we don't lose Joe Burrow for I don't even know how many games he missed. But it was a lot. It was
10, I think.
All right, so okay, good number. Like let's just say we don't what if we don't lose Joe Burrow for 10 games? What if we miss Joe Burrow for a month instead of 2 months, like the 2 months they did, 2.5 months that they did miss him. Where's Cincinnati at then like now versus what they actually are? Since Baltimore, y'all gotta win this one. And the whole likely thing, that was a touchdown. I'm sorry. They talking about he had to make a football move. How the hell you make a football move in the end zone? I'm in the end zone. Like the end zone is technically no longer in the field of play because everything stops there. Like it stops right there. So he caught the ball 1-2, had possession, and then that's when
he bobbled it and
was it? Yeah, was it Joey Porter Jr. knocked the ball like?
Yeah.
He if I'm Isaiah Likely, he's like, bro, I did everything right. And the field of play thing though.
I kind of think that was I kind of like that as an incomplete, but I have seen that exact same play be called touchdown like on multiple occasions.
Here's the thing, like earlier in that game, Aaron Rodgers had the pass swatted back to him. And he
yeah.
And they ruled that a catch. Like they ruled that a catch. Like so I'm confused on I'm like the NFL is not
Aaron Rodgers I think has like 5 career receptions, by the way.
The NFL is not doing themselves a good service with their lack of consistent. I think it's been bad. But I legit think like this season is probably the worst it's been in terms of referee inconsistencies.
I tend to agree with you on that, but I'm also going to take the Ravens in this game. I think
I'm taking the Ravens too. I just don't. Cincinnati's defense, no, I don't trust it.
Christian.
Yeah, look, I wanted to go against the grain, but I just don't.
You just had to be. You just trying to be difficult. That's what it is.
Shut your ass up.
I ain't gotta do nothing. I'll shut up when David shave his beard, and David ain't shaving his beard.
It might be a while.
I'll deal with TJ. Not you, David. I'll deal with TJ after the show, like I always do.
You're staying in the AFC, but moving in.
I like Baltimore.
Staying in the AFC, but swinging into the AFC West. We got the Los Angeles Chargers, who we just mentioned, won on Monday Night Football, going into Kansas City, into Arrowhead, taking on the Chiefs, who just fell on Sunday Night Football to the Houston Texans. Chiefs, this is must-win territory for the remainder of the season if they can even get in with a winning out. The Chargers are in a good spot. That win over Philadelphia definitely put them in a good place to be a wild card team and give them a snowball's chance of winning the division still if Denver were to slip up, given that they have a game against them coming up. Chargers, Chiefs. Christian, talk to me about it.
Yeah, like you said, that was such a gritty win and a much-needed win for the Chargers, considering how everything is panning out in the AFC. Kansas City, I'll put it to you like this, both of you. The Eagles broke the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and they haven't been able to recover because it's been a stock exchange roller coaster type of season. Like 1 minute they're up, you're thinking, oh, okay, they found their rhythm, they're healthy, they got their swagger back, and then they fall. And a majority of their losses have been solely on the offense. That game on Sunday against Houston on their offense. The loss against Buffalo on their offense. The loss against Denver on their offense. The loss against Jacksonville and the losses against Jacksonville and Philly on their offense. And you could even say the same the first time when they played the Chargers. I'm gonna take Kansas City, but I'm not confident in it.
When's the last time you said a sentence like that?
I've said it.
The Chargers have played the Kansas City Chiefs tough throughout the course of this Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes era. In fact, the Chargers already have a victory over the Kansas City Chiefs earlier in the season. But the Chargers were more healthy then. They had a better offensive line then. I will reluctantly take the Chargers because I think I don't like what I'm seeing out of Kansas City. But given you know what, I'm gonna reverse. I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I think they're gonna get this one. I think I just can't. I guess I can't go against Patrick Mahomes, and I'll probably be wrong, as I spend a lot of my life being wrong. But I will take the Chiefs. But I wouldn't be surprised, even the slightest, if the Chargers came out and won this game. If Justin Herbert has one of those virtuoso performances, TJ.
So again, like the latter part of Christian's statement. I'm taking the Chiefs, but I'm not comfortable. I'm not confident in it. When's the last time that statement has been uttered? It's been a while, right? Maybe since before Pat Mahomes became the starter. Yeah. So down there, 8 years, 9 years, maybe. But what I was to my earlier point about me saying something about the Chiefs. This is from Skip Bayless, and I don't agree with Skip Bayless a lot, if at all.
I mean, either.
Right, but when he's on his new podcast platform or whatever, I forgot the name of it. It's actually pretty decent. It's him, Akeem Talib. I think Richie Incognito contributes sometimes. Oh, cool. Jay Gruden contributes sometimes. What's Gerald McCoy be on there? So like it's pretty diverse. But anyway, like Skip Bayless is like, I miss the memo where we can't be critical of Pat Mahomes. And I'm like, damn. He's absolutely fucking like, yo, they are not criticizing Pat Mahomes like they should be. Like they lump them all together. They like the run game ain't this. They're dropping passes. It's like, well, and Skip Bayless is all like, well, what about him? Some of them passes that they be dropping just aren't good passes. He short arms a lot of them. He throws them low. He throws them too high. One of the interceptions, Jalen Petrie tipped to himself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? So it's like, I'm like, damn, like that's a good point. Like why aren't we? And I understand Pat Mahomes is great. Like he could retire today, he'd be in the hall. That we are not taking anything he's done from him. But that don't mean you are above criticism. Tom Brady went 10 years in between Super Bowl wins, and they raked his ass through the coals. No matter how great his regular seasons were. And he was winning 11, 12, 13 games a year doing them 10 years. Minus the year he tore the ACL.
Even that season, they won 10 games too.
And that's the
I think they won 11 games that season. They just didn't make the playoffs because of how stacked the AFC was that season.
So
Christian is the stat guy. He probably remembers like everything that happened ever. So I imagine he knows exactly what.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers because I just don't like what I'm seeing offensively from Kansas. I think they abandoned the run game entirely too fast. Like you got two dudes in that backfield that can cause hell for anybody, and there's no reason why Isaiah Pacheco should be an afterthought in this run game. There's no reason why Kareem Hunt should be only getting the ball in like goal line situations. Like that's, to me, like that is ridiculous. Like, your passing game is somewhat struggling with the drops. You lose, what's his name, Wanye Morris, and thoughts and prayers to him on the first play of the game.
Yeah.
First play of the game, season-ending knee injury for Wanye Morris. Like, that is awful. That's awful. I'm gonna take the Chargers. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City do win. I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City did win because I think that hand injury that Herbert
Herbert.
has
Yeah.
is way worse than what they're letting on to be. And I just don't think they.
I think if they had like a backup they could count on, I think they would be. I think they would
Yeah,
be playing.
that's 100%. That's why I think it is. I just don't think they have enough faith in Trey Lance to
I agree with you on that for 100%.
keep things float long
because
enough for him to.
I mean, also think if this injury happened like a month ago, I think they would be letting Trey Lance play because I think they'd be like, oh, well, this is like the crunch time. Like you kind of need Justin Herbert. So
like when they announced he was playing yesterday, I was kind of surprised. Like they must
I
have
always thought that he was going to play. I think Justin Herbert. If one thing was proved in Justin Herbert, that dude.
Yeah, he's tough. He's tough.
He's tough. Moving on from there, we got the matchup between the AFC East and the NFC East and the AFC West. With the Philadelphia Eagles going into welcoming in the Las Vegas Raiders into Lincoln Financial Field. This series is conveniently enough tied at 7 games apiece all time. And the last time these two teams played was 4 years ago. Christian.
Which game did you go to?
Who?
Which game is this? Did you skip Bills Patriots? You skipped Bills Patriots.
I my bad. Yeah, my bad.
And Commanders Giants.
I mentioned a bunch of games. From there, my bad. Swinging into the AFC East, we have a game that's going to go a long way in deciding this. The Buffalo Bills coming off beating the Cincinnati Bengals as they pulled off the rabbit out of the hat in the fourth quarter, going up against the New England Patriots, who've been on a bye and just been waiting for them to show up to Foxborough. This is a big game. It's going to decide who's probably going to win the AFC East for sure and who's going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC the way things are playing out. Christian, talk to me, and I think I know what's coming, right?
Let's do this. Let's do it.
Let's go, baby.
1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 1, baby.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. And I remember when these two played the first time, Buffalo was so penalized. I think they committed like 11 penalties. And what do I always say? The team that commits the least penalties normally ends up winning a football game. I look at New England and they've been on cruise control. I mean, the last time they lost a game was week 3. That's all the way back in September. Let that sink in. One thing I realized about Buffalo, and I'm just going to come out and say it, James Cook is the Bills' best offensive option, not Josh Allen. Yeah, Josh Allen is the guy that stirs the drink and everything, but I think they're a better offense when they have James cooking. All pun intended. New England, I mean, they're going to mix it up. They can run it at you. They can throw it. The key is going to be do not let Josh Allen leave that pocket. I preview this one on Friday. Be on the lookout.
TJ, talk to me.
Buffalo right now is favored to win. Not by much, but they're favorites. ESPN is giving them if I read this correctly, a 54.2% chance of winning this game on Sunday. I'm gonna chop that up to like you said, like New England's been sitting around for a week, just chilling, chillaxing. This game has more implications than just division. Divisional standings, right? Because even if Buffalo does win, they're still a game behind. They'll be 10-4.
Yeah, they would need New England to lose another game. Actually, they need New England to lose 2 games.
Two games.
Because Buffalo, there's a bunch of tiebreakers that Buffalo just can't overcome. Like even if they were to win this game and Patriots were to slip up twice, they would, or one more, they would need Patriots to lose 3 of the last 4 games.
And that means
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Not only does this game have divisional implications, has MVP implications on it. I think, obviously, the reigning defending MVP, I don't think he has a shot at winning it again this year. He's already, compared to who he's up against, he's literally thrown 4 more interceptions than Drake May. He's thrown 6 more interceptions.
I think the only way that Josh Allen can get back into the MVP conversation,
they got to win out.
he's got to go. He's got to win out, and he has to be like otherworldly because Matthew Stafford and Drake May, and one of those two guys is going to be the MVP of the league. One of those two guys, like they've been otherworldly for the entire season.
And Drake May, and I again, like my only issue with the Patriots, I have no issue with them winning. I just have an issue with the discourse around them being inconsistent. Because the Bears won 9 games, and it's all, who did you play? Who did you play? Who did you play? New England's won 11, and no one's questioned their schedule, not like they should have. Like their last 5 opponents were literally the Giants, the Bengals, the Jets, beat up Tampa, and Atlanta. Those are not the world beaters.
I mean, you could make when we get to Denver. NFL. I mean, Denver has also had not that difficult of a schedule.
Not a difficult schedule, and
they basically survived every game this season outside of the Raider game.
Outside of the Raider game, and I'm gonna go Buffalo because I think this is gonna be a kind of a big litmus test for New England. Like how do you handle, especially like this iteration of the Patriots? Like how do you handle somebody like nipping at you?
Especially since Patriots now, there's like you're expected to win this game. Like you're at home. You have all the momentum. You're coming off a bye. This is a game that you're going to be expected to win. So let's see what they look like with expectations now against a team that's Buffalo's been cooking right now. They're coming off of 2 wins in a row, 2 impressive wins, Pittsburgh, and then coming back and beating Cincinnati. So. Moving on, I'm also taking the Bills. I'm just riding the Josh Allen train. So
yeah, right. To the wheels fall off.
100%. So give me the Bills and give me Josh Allen. I just think that he's still the best player in this particular game, even with the rise of Drake May. From there, we got the Washington Commanders going into MetLife Stadium, taking on the New York Football Giants. I imagine if the team is smart, Marcus Mariota will be the starting quarterback for the Commanders for the rest of the way. But I have no idea because the Commanders seem to just want to run the wheels off of everything. The Giants, obviously, with both these teams on a bye last week, I'm pretty sure.
The Giants been on a bye all damn year.
Where the Commanders play on Sunday? Oh yeah, they got trounced by the Vikings, 31-0.
That was a bye. That was a bye.
Commanders, Giants. Christian, talk to me about it.
This is normally when I come on the screen and I just start doing my maniac ass laugh. But I like the Giants in this one. I think they do enough to get the win. Like
I'm also going to go with the Giants.
The Commanders are a mess. Like they really are. And guess how much you can get into this game for on Sunday?
I do have it up, but I'm not going to scroll up.
Damn it. I didn't want you to look.
I didn't look. I didn't scroll up. I didn't look. $8.
It was $8 last time I checked.
ESPN says you can get in for $23 to East Rutherford, New Jersey. TJ, talk to me.
Yeah, I'm going with the Giants too. So earlier this year, Jaden Daniels' mother tweeted out. Basically, she tweeted out, "Don't wish the RG3 stuff on her son," because we saw what happened with RG3. He got hurt. He came back entirely too early, and then one leg whip into Haloti Nada later. RG3 was never the same again, and effectively his career was over. He stayed in the league, but he was most as a backup. But he was RG3. Let's be real, RG3 was never supposed to be somebody's backup. RG3 is probably his career was probably supposed to be coming to an end right around now, versus when he came into the league. Like, the fact that him and Andrew Luck basically had to retire early, just organizational malpractice. And I questioned it last week when they said Jaden Daniels was getting the start, because we're like, why? You're playing for absolutely nothing at this point in the year. You're done. There was no reason to try Jaden Daniels out there against a certifiable madman that is Brian Flores, knowing, oh, y'all gonna put him out here? Okay. We gonna, oh yeah. And then you saw where he threw a pick and he trying to make a tackle and he got put on his ass and he landed on that same injured elbow. And it was just a bad day at the office. Like that, you just don't do that.
Yeah,
You
hopefully
just
for
don't.
hopefully for his sake, it's Marcus Mariota for the rest of the way. But who knows?
Like it has to be. Like it has to be. Like and there's a reason why I always say what? Do it again.
Yeah. Moving on from there, game I was talking about earlier in the show, we got the Las Vegas Raiders going into Lincoln Financial Field and taking on the Eagles. These teams are actually tied up at 7 games apiece all time. Last time these two teams played, however, was 4 years ago. Christian, do you remember who won this game 4 years ago?
I think it was Philly.
You are incorrect. The Las Vegas Raiders pulled the rabbit out of the hat, and they won this game at the Death Star, 33-22. This is when the Raiders
first year in Vegas.
I think it might have been, yeah. The Raiders at the time of this game were 5-2. Philadelphia was sitting here at 2-5. Can you name the starting quarterbacks for either team?
Derek Carr.
Yep, they got it. Derek Carr, 31 of 34 for 2 touchdowns and a pick.
And I want to say Jalen.
Jalen Hurts was the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. He had a pretty good day at the office. 18 of 34. Completion percentage is not really where he wanted to be, but 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. And TJ, do you know who the leading running back was for the Raiders in this game?
Josh Jacobs.
No, it was the Drake. It was the Drake.
Wow.
The Drake. 14
Fantasy legend, King and Drake.
The Drake, as I like to call him on a billion shows. But Christian, we're looking at 2025. The Eagles are winning, but how much are they winning by?
Okay. Hey, real quick. So.
And I also don't know who the starting quarterback for the Raiders is going to be after Geno Smith had that shoulder injury at the end of that Denver game. Kenny Pickett. I mean,
doesn't matter.
I like to.
Does it?
No,
matter?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Thank you.
Next.
No, so it was the I think it was the Giants game for the Eagles, the second one, not the first one, the second one, where I asked if the Eagles win but they struggle, what are we saying? Like, what's the narrative about them?
Well, I think we're already past that.
No. But fortunately for them, they won by 18. It was 38-20, right? That's a bit of a blowout by NFL standards, right? So I reiterate the question for this game. If you're the Eagles and you win this game, but it's a struggle, like you struggle against the Raiders, what's the conversation? Like,
I think the fact that they've lost 3 games going into this one is more of a concern of how they look. If like they have to beat the Raiders, like I think getting a win and just getting up the schneid will do huge things for this team's morale. And maybe the conversation will be like, oh, if they don't look great, but as long as the Eagles get a win, I think getting off the schneid and getting a victory, I think it'll. Personally, I don't know what the media is like in Philadelphia, what they're talking about right now. I'm sure it's not positive at all. But I think just getting a victory and just ending this 3-game winning streak will do a lot for this team's chemistry, a lot for this team's morale. Because I mean, I don't know. Like Christian, you gotta.
Yeah, I mean, they need something because look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they took Dallas a little too lightly.
They did.
You're up 21 points and you blow a 21-point lead. You got beat at your own game by the Chicago Bears. I mean, they came in there and they challenged your manhood.
They ate your sandwich.
Yeah. You know, for once I actually agree with you. And you know, against the Chargers, that was just sloppy football. Like I had a friend who was at that game yesterday, David, and he just said,
"I love SoFi Stadium." It's
he highly recommended it.
It's incredible.
But he was just saying that the Eagles' play calling was just rather pedestrian, and you can tell how much they missed that man child. That's what I call Jalen Carter. But yeah, the Eagles got to get this right because this is flashbacks of 2023 all over again. And dare I say it, I think the Bears broke them.
You're not necessarily wrong because, like, when we found out Jalen Carter was getting surgery on both shoulders, we like, bruh, they whooped your ass like that, or is that just a lingering issue that compiled into another issue?
Tell him to rub some spit on it. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be all right. I obviously we're sweeping it, right? We're all picking.
Yeah.
We're all picking the Eagles here. Like the bigger story is what David said. Like going into this game, you've lost. You've lost 3 in a row, and the 3 games that you lost, like let's be honest, like they weren't good losses. Like again, 21-0 on the Cowboys, you got walked down. You were never really in the game against Chicago from what it looks like. The final score says 24-15. The way shit looked, that wasn't close. That was not a close. And then last night, like Jalen Hurts has arguably the worst game of his career. And the play calling is like not pedestrian, it's predictable. Like fans are calling out the routes that the receivers are running. Like they know what they're running. And it's like, oh, like if AJ Brown is outside, it's like if he's on the far, if he's outside, if he's your X on the left side, up, that's a go route. Like fans should not know that. Like they shouldn't know that. It's the Eagles. Like we're sweeping it. It's the Eagles. It's next game.
Moving on from there, we have a battle between the Jets and the Jaguars. Obviously, the Jaguars got the victory over the Indianapolis Colts. Thoughts out to Daniel Jones. We'll talk about that a little more when we get to the Colts game. And obviously, the Jets lost to the Miami Dolphins, sitting there at 3-10. The Jaguars at 9-4. These teams are interestingly tied all time at 9 games apiece. Christian, who gets the rubber match here between the Jets and the Jaguars? This game is in Duval County.
Not the Jets. That's for certain. Give me Jacksonville. No, I just like what Jacksonville's doing right now. Like Liam Cohen has made it a point of emphasis to run the football. Like they're running the ball, they're controlling the line of scrimmage. There's not a lot of pressure on Trevor Lawrence. And, Jacoby Myers has really been a godsend for this offense. He and Trevor have really connected. This defense is playing well. Yeah.
And we finally saw a good game from Brian Thomas Jr. too. If they can get him going the way he was last season, that'd be
a scary offense. But yeah, I like Jacksonville.
I like Jacksonville too, just for the simple fact that they got to win this one. Houston's on their ass.
Yeah, 100%. I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. They're kind of rolling right now. I think they've won
quietly too. Quietly.
Yeah, they've won. Hold on a second. They have won 4 games in a row. And when you talk about winning streaks, I mean, it's right up there. I know they haven't won 10 in a row like the Denver Broncos and the Patriots, but I mean, they quietly have the 5th best winning streak in the NFL right now. So, and
they have a chance, and it's unfortunate, like you said, with Daniel Jones, but they have a chance to catch the Colts.
I mean, they've already caught the Colts. I mean, the Jaguars are the number 1 seed in the AFC South.
They had. I thought they were behind.
No, they've been ahead of them actually for 2 weeks. Ever since the Colts lost to the Texans, Jacksonville has been the number 1 seed for 2 weeks now in the South.
I thought the Colts had a bigger lead than that. Never mind.
Moving on from there, we got a battle between the AFC South and the NFC West, and another matchup where the series is actually tied all time between the Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals. This game is in Houston. Series is tied 3 apiece. TJ, who gets the rubber match here? Cardinals, Texans. I don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be for the Cardinals right now. I mean, it's probably going to be Jacoby Brissett. But I'm not sure it matters.
All things considered, I think I'm gonna save us a lot of time. It's the Texans sweep it. That defense is gonna make life a living hell. Trey McBride is on my fantasy team. I'm not expecting him to have a good day. But basically, but back to the Eagles real quick. The guy I faced last night, David, had Jalen Hurts. He had Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith. And I want to say Jalen Hurts got him like, I don't know, 5 points, if that. He was negative for a while there. I thought that was funny. But back to this. There's wild. I ain't gonna say wild, but it's highly anticipated that Kyler Murray will not be playing for the Arizona Cardinals next season.
I would expect that their head coach will be fired. I think they already fired their GM. This is going to look like a very different Arizona Cardinals team at this time next year. Like this, they will not have the same head coach. His name is Jonathan Gannon, and he will not be the head coach of this team. And if they haven't already fired their GM, he will be fired this offseason.
It's tough.
Yeah, because this team is absurdly underachieved. You can make the same. I mean, it's the same argument with Raheem Morris there in Atlanta. I mean, you bring Raheem Morris, and this team is the Falcons are expected to compete, and they just don't. The Cardinals haven't been.
I think it's worse in Atlanta because Atlanta has significantly more talent.
I agree with
in
you.
My opinion.
100%. Christian, you got any thoughts before we move on?
Houston, next game.
To the marquee matchup of the weekend, which should be on one of these primetime slates, because I could care less about either primetime game. I apologize to any Vikings, Cowboys, Dolphins, and Steelers fans out there. But the Green Bay Packers
and not flexed, right? You know that's just not flexed because it's the fucking Cowboys. And yes, this is probably the Tony Romo game on CBS.
Hopefully. Packers and Broncos in Mile High. Last time these two teams played was actually 2 years ago. And the Denver Broncos actually lead the all-time series 8-7-1. But they did win their last time they played in 2023. Broncos, Packers, 19-17. We're swinging into 2025. Fast forward 2 seasons. Christian, talk to me. And I think I know what's coming.
David, let's do this. Let's do it.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 2, baby.
Yeah, that was a big win for Green Bay. I think the last 2 games were big wins. Winning against Detroit, taking that series, and then winning a closely contested game against the Bears. I always say, like, both these teams are kind of similar to one another. Like, both teams can play stingy defense, but you never know what version of the quarterback you're going to get for either. More so Bo Nix. And when good Jordan Love shows up, good things happen for the Green Bay Packers. I think this is going to kind of be – I could see 20 points determining the outcome of this game. I don't think this is going to be a shootout. I think this is going to be a lot of control the clock, who can get pressure on the opposing team's quarterback, and watch this be damn near a mini home game for the Packers because those fans travel. I preview this one on Thursday. Be on the lookout.
TJ.
What's that adage? The immovable object versus the unstoppable force or some shit like that. Micah Parsons, 12.5 sacks. Nick Benito, 12.5 sacks. What else? Edgerrin Cooper, 97 tackles. Singleton, 103 tackles. Romeo Doubs, 542 receiving yards. Cortland Sutton, 773. About 70 or so yards separates Jordan Love from Bo Nix. The Bears fan in me, obviously, hey, Denver, take care of business. Because if you lose and we win, guess what? We back in first. I'm going Denver for the simple fact of that I'm hoping Christian's wrong on the home field advantage point. Like, I hope the Bronco fans, like, just I hope like a 2-1.
I do not think Packer fans will be able to take over Mile High. There's just no way. Denver will be the majority of that fan base in that stadium on Sunday.
Like if this was like if this was a terrible Broncos team, then yeah,
And
easily.
this is one of the
Right?
better Broncos teams they've had in a decade since Peyton Manning hung up his helmet.
And kudos on me for having some solid math. So I said 70-ish. He has 74 more passing yards than Bo Nix.
Look at that.
Like the thing
That NIU education paying off.
right, you see it. I'm going Denver. I think the one thing that the Bears showed, especially in that second half, is the key to beating Green Bay is you got to control the clock against them, because that second half, that vaunted Packer defense, those guys were exhausted. Like they said it. Like they were huffing and puffing. It was tough. And on that last play, the interception, Xavier McKinney was like, "Yo, we were beat. They had us. If that's a better throw, like if he's on time with that throw, that's a touchdown." This one right here, I'm going with Denver. I just think this Broncos team is trying to prove something, and because like you said, Dave, like it's not like their schedule has been, their opponents have been what you call it, like something to brag about.
I
So
mean,
I think,
outside of that win they had against Philadelphia over this 10-game winning streak, they've beaten the Bengals, Jets, Giants, Cowboys, Texans, Raiders, Chiefs, Commanders, and then the Raiders again. None of those teams are in the playoffs right now.
and now with the way the Eagles are looking, like you can argue, like, was that a good win? Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like I think if you're Denver, like you really gotta, like, this is your chance to like have some kind of statement win on the season.
I'm not going to talk a lot of analysis. I don't really have a lot. I'm just taking the Broncos because I hate Green Bay. Moving.
Yeah, on the flip side, I wouldn't be surprised if Green Bay won, but yeah, you can move on.
No, the hell with the Packers. Go Broncos.
Yeah, they gotta lose. Go Broncos.
Moving on from there, swinging into a battle that has major playoff implications in the NFC. And we have the Los Angeles Rams welcoming in the Detroit Lions into beautiful SoFi Stadium in Englewood, California. Last time these two teams played, the Detroit Lions got the advantage 26-20. And actually, the Lions have beaten the Rams the last two times they've played, including in the playoffs last year, or 2 years ago, I think that is. Yeah, 2 years ago, 24-23. But this is 2025. Detroit injuries piling up. The Rams look like the class of the NFC. Christian, do I hear what's coming with this one?
David, let's wrap this up, man. Let's knock this out the park. Ready?
Oh, baby. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 3, baby.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I mean, the Lions got a much-needed win last week against Dallas.
Cowboys.
Yeah,
Cowboys.
They played. Yeah, I mean
Thursday Night Football.
Right. My thing with the Lions is we know what their identity is. They want to run the football. Like, I truly feel that they are a much better offense when Jahmyr Gibbs has it going. And it got me to thinking the other day, David and TJ, could you imagine if the Lions had the running game of their caliber that they have now, back when Calvin Johnson was playing?
Yeah.
That they would have had a Super Bowl by then. That's just me.
Probably.
Yeah, and with the Rams, that game against the Panthers had trap written all over.
But also in defense of those running backs that played for the Detroit Lions at that time period, the reason that those Lions teams weren't winning games was not their offense. It was the defense.
It was the defense.
Let's be real. Yeah. They had some decent running backs come through there over the course of that era of football.
Yeah, most definitely. But, I look at the Rams, and they got it right against Arizona. I think they're the class of the NFC right now as we speak. This game comes down to who runs the ball more consistently and who can limit the other team's running attack. I preview this one tomorrow. Be on the lookout.
Just picking back right off of what Christian just said, and I think the team that's going to be able to limit the running attack of the other team is the Rams. I think their front seven is arguably the best in the NFL, and I think they will get after Jahmyr Gibbs, and they'll force because we've seen, like, when teams force Jared Goff to be the guy that makes the Lions win games, he struggles. And it's not that he can't do it. He just regularly doesn't do it in big moments. This is a big moment. The Rams, I think, are the class of the NFC. I know that they're the number one seed in the NFC now that the Bears lost. And they were able to beat the Arizona Cardinals, thrashing, really, of the Arizona Cardinals. Matthew Stafford's on a mission right now. I think he's going to be the MVP of the league when it's all said and done. Give me the Rams, TJ.
So I agree that no matter what happens, Matthew Stafford should 100% win MVP over Drake May. Just it's the principle of it. That being said, this is his MVP game, right? Like this one, like if depending on what Drake May does against Buffalo, like if Matthew Stafford against this Lions team, if he light their ass up and they win, yeah, you might as well just punch that ticket, give him MVP, all she wrote. That's it. There's nothing that Drake May will be able to do.
I also think, like, not to cut you off, but what if Jackson Smith-Njigba breaks Calvin Johnson's record and they're the number one seed in the NFC? Does he have a chance of winning the MVP?
To me, yes, but again, I don't want to go down that. I don't want to keep. But
I think if the Seattle Seahawks are the number one seed in the NFC and Jackson Smith-Njigba gets over 2,000 yards receiving, he should be the MVP of the league. Period.
Absolutely. Like if you break a record like that, like, 100%.
Yeah.
Like 100%. I'm taking the Rams. I want to see what Jahmyr Gibbs does against that front four of Jared Verse and why is the other kid's name? His teammate from college. Like that was such a cool moment from draft day. Like they called one called the other and said, "Yeah, we finna be teammates again." That was so cool to me. I'm taking the Rams.
Brandon Fisk is
there. There we go. Thank you. Like,
and then we're not even talking about like Kobe Turner, who's been a fantastic player, and Puna Ford. Like this whole, yeah. So,
so I'm taking the Rams.
Moving on to the from there, we got another NFC South matchup where we got the Carolina Panthers going into the Bayou, taking on the New Orleans Saints. Saints getting a kind of an upset victory against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not a kind of, it was an upset victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday afternoon. Carolina Panthers are coming off their bye after they beat the Los Angeles Rams. This is a big-time game for the Carolina Panthers. And the Saints kind of just need this to just kind of end the season on a positive note. Tyler Shook has been just okay over the last couple of games. He was very important with those rushing touchdowns for why they beat Tampa Bay. I still think they screwed up that call at the end of – maybe it was last week against Miami. Never mind. Christian, talk to me. Carolina Saints.
Carolina needs this to keep up with Tampa Bay because I know they got a huge matchup coming up. I think they play them twice in these next 3 or 4 games, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that.
I do like Carolina. The Saints play tough, but their issue is they can't close games out. But I'm gonna take the Panthers. I just like what Bryce Young has been able to do this year. Like it's been a maturation process for him. I was telling TJ this on Monday, even the quarterback. Remember TJ when we last recorded? I told you Bryce has grown up this year. Like he's
had to grow up.
Yeah, he's grown up.
After this game for each respective team, Carolina and Tampa Bay do have 2 out of 3 games coming up with the Dolphins in between for Tampa Bay. And Carolina has, hold on just a second. Sorry, I don't have that pulled up. Has the Seahawks in between, so this is a game. So and really, like if Carolina doesn't win this game against the Saints, I think they can kiss their playoff hopes goodbye. They have to win this game. The problem with the Saints is there's no talent on this football team right now, and no matter who the quarterback was or any of the other position players on this team, they would struggle no matter who it is. They're just the offensive line isn't any good. Outside of Chris Olave, I don't think the receivers are all that good. The defense is terrible. I'm taking Carolina, but I think the Saints are going to keep this a little bit respectable because they do play hard. TJ.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, Carolina. They need to. Yeah, Carolina needs this one. Carolina's going to win this one. There's just nothing positive I can say about the Saints right now. I don't like their coach. No disrespect to Kellen Moore. Um, Tyler Shuck. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Spencer Rattler's still the team's leading passer, by the way. That being said, they should have cleaned house when they had the opportunity to. Like should have got Chris Olave out of there. Should have got Kamara out of there. Pretty sure Cam Jordan is dug in for life, so he's gonna retire. This ain't nothing wrong with that.
I
By the
think
way,
this has got to be his last season. Like it's just got to be.
same thing with Demario Davis. Demario Davis probably could have got something for him too.
Yeah.
Ted McMillan probably is gonna win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't have those numbers in front of me. For everybody else,
nobody else is really running away with that award, and
that's what I'm saying.
No rookie on the offensive side of the football is really having a standout season. Like there's no quarterback playing particularly well.
Right, like he has 57 catches, 826, and 6 touchdowns. So he has to be the betting favorite, right?
I don't have
that in front of me either.
But I can't even remember. Like I guess Emeka Ibuka, who started off hot out of the gates, but he's cooled down
significantly.
Yeah,
and that's really unfortunate. Give me the Panthers just for the simple fact that the Saints play hard, and I did air quotes, but ain't nothing to brag home about in New Orleans.
Moving on, staying in the late afternoon window, we have a battle between the NFC West and the AFC South. We have the San Francisco 49ers welcoming in the Tennessee Titans into Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Last time these two teams played was actually 4 years ago on Festivus. Actually, if you don't know, now you know about Festivus. If you guys know what Festivus is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool, good. Anyways, last 4 years ago on Festivus, these two teams played, this time in Nissan Stadium. Christian, do you remember who won that game 4 years ago?
I do. I remember that being a Thursday night game. San Francisco won that.
Incorrect. I don't know what day of the week this game was, but the Titans got the victory 20-17. Starting quarterbacks for these two franchises, Jimmy Garoppolo for the San Francisco 49ers, Ryan Tannehill for the Tennessee Titans, Jeff Wilson, leading rusher for the Niners, Jeremy McNichols was the leading rusher for the Tennessee Titans, as the king, Derrick Henry, must have been out for some reason. A.J. Brown, man, the Titans still wish that they had him on his roster. 11 catches for 145 yards and a touchdown. But we're in 2025. Fast forward 4 years. TJ, talk to me.
The Niners should win this one going away. Unless that
this game is televised. This game's at home. They're at home.
Yeah, unless that Tennessee Titans defense,
they're coming off a bye too. So
unless that Tennessee Titans defense wants to make a repeat appearance of what they just did in Cleveland, not to that Browns run game, like that's one of the big reasons why they lost. Like Cleveland couldn't run the goddamn ball. So like if they want to do a repeat of that, like tell Brock Purdy, hey, you want to win this game, you got to throw for 400. All right, but I'm taking the taking the Niners.
Yeah, I'm also taking the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think anything else really needs to be said. Moving on from there, a game that had a lot of intrigue just a couple weeks ago has really soured now on the intrigue level. We got the Indianapolis Colts going into Seattle and taking on the Seahawks. Just want to give our thoughts out to Daniel Jones. Tough break there, tearing the Achilles. Hopefully he's still able to sign somewhat of a decent contract for another football team. Just hate to see a guy, and then hate to see a guy who's having this kind of a season, really leading the Indianapolis Colts, have an injury like that. Just absolutely devastating. And kudos to him, man, to go out there in that game sit there on the sidelines in the walking boot, in the street clothes, in the pouring rain, on the sidelines. He didn't need to do that, So just, shows the kind of leadership that Daniel Jones has shown so far this season in his short time as a member of the Indianapolis Colts. Riley Leonard will probably be the starting quarterback, but he's dealing with a knee injury. Yes, they did sign Phillip Rivers, who's 44 years old and has not played in 4 seasons. But he has to start on the practice squad before he can be elevated to the main roster. So I do not know what the situation is going to be like that with the quarterback. Last time these two teams played was 4 years ago. It was opening weekend. Seattle won that game 28-16. You got Russell Wilson and Carson Wentz as the starting quarterbacks for these two football teams. Neither of those two guys are walking through that door. Christian, talk to me about this.
I like Seattle. They've been sneaky good. You hear about the Rams, you hear about Philly and the inconsistency that they play with. You've heard about Green Bay, you've heard about the Bears. Like Seattle's 10-3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best defense I've seen them have since the LOB days. They've made it a point of emphasis to run the football, and Sam Darnold's really like that. But then again, I need to see him prove it when it matters most. And, this is going to be a tune-up for Seattle because they have a huge game next Thursday night against the LA Rams. But I like Seattle.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Seattle Seahawks. Unfortunately for the Indianapolis Colts this season that was started out with so much promise is going to fall to the wayside due to injuries and just poor play down the stretch. We're not that far removed a couple weeks ago where we're talking about Jonathan Taylor being the MVP of the league. Nobody's having that conversation anymore. Even though he has 1,300 yards rushing and 16 touchdowns. People were talking about Jonathan Taylor potentially breaking LT's record. Nobody's having that conversation anymore. Just unfortunate. Give me the Seahawks. TJ.
Yeah, he had 2 games under. What was that? I think one team held him to like 54, and I think Houston shut him down too. Like to Christian's point, everybody's talking about everybody else, and they're talking Kyle Shanahan's the coach of the year, the clear-cut coach. It's like, dude, Will McDonald's 10-3. Hey, Will McDonald got Sam Darnold out here looking like Mike McDonald got Mike McDonald got
Will McDonald. No, I'm pretty sure it's Mike.
Yeah, it is Mike. It is Mike. TJ don't know shit. But, yeah.
Will McDonald plays for the Jets. He's a defensive end.
Yeah, like I said.
Yes, it's all right.
That's all it is. Right?
Anyway, that's like they talking about him. Everybody for coach of the year, but him for some odd reason. I'm taking the Seahawks. Like there's no way. I don't know what. Like you get a dude who ain't thrown a pass in 4 years to.
I mean, you could have got the nooch. Come on.
It's.
You could have gotten Mr. Spring Football himself to come lace up his strap.
You could have got anybody, bro. Like you could have got Josh Dobbs. You could have got
of the people you could have called and resorted to. Phillip Rivers is the guy you went with. He hasn't played. He's been coaching high school football for 4 seasons. Hasn't touched a football in an NFL game in 4 years. And he's like, oh, you know what? Who we're gonna call Phillip Rivers? Where's the logic there?
Like somebody was on Twitter saying, and I'm not gonna go into this any further than past this. Somebody on Twitter was like, Colin Kaepernick is punching the air right now. I'm like, no, this just literally just proves his point, but that's neither here nor there. Give me Seattle, and respectfully, I don't think this is gonna be close. I just don't know how long the Colts are going to be able to, keep it up.
If you Google Colin Kaepernick, you know what it comes up as? He comes up as an American civil rights activist. They don't as opposed to
call him a football player anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't really think that's okay. Anyways, moving on from there, we got Sunday Night Football. We got the Vikings and the Cowboys going head to head. Cowboys suffering a devastating loss against another NFC North opponent, the Detroit Lions, on Thursday Night Football. The Minnesota Vikings got a very nice victory against a different NFC East opponent in the Washington Commanders. Now they're going head-to-head. Last time these two teams played was 3 years ago. Cowboys hung up 40 points on the Minnesota Vikings in an absolute rout, 40-3. TJ, what happens here in 2025?
Hope they don't think shit gonna be sweet. Hey, if you're playing the Vikings, one, you know it's gonna be a tough out because that defense is gonna it's gonna make life miserable. That being said, I want to see this. I want to see this offensive firepower versus their defense. Like I want to see how you match up against, especially George Pickens. Like he had a terrible game against the Lions. Like his effort was questioned. And then he tried to clap back at Richard Sherman, where it's just like, dude, Richard Sherman didn't say anything necessarily wrong. You just took it personal. Like, no, he called out your effort. Like, no, like that was a quote unquote like that was a somewhat winnable game for y'all, and it's just like you didn't show up. I'm taking the Cowboys.
C. Lamb is still in the concussion protocol, so it's not clear if he's going to play or not. He's probably going to be as close to a game time decision
as within the rules allow it to be. Yeah. I'm taking the Cowboys, man. Like 9, really 9, really? No, fuck out of here. Cowboys.
I'm also going to roll with the Dallas Cowboys. I think this is going to be one of those games for Minnesota where we kind of see J.J. McCarthy come back down to earth. This defense can still generate a pass rush, and J.J. McCarthy has proven that he can't handle the pass rush. I think this is going to be another game where we're looking at J.J. McCarthy like, why did we use a first-round pick on you after this game? Because he's probably going to struggle. Christian.
Yeah, I like Dallas as well. This is a get-right game for them, and, to kind of elaborate on what TJ said, what version of George Pickens shows up? Like
and they need this game.
Yeah, they do. They want.
I mean, their season is over. Let's be real.
Yeah, I said what I said. They need to.
I know they're not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, but things would have to go extremely south for the Philadelphia Eagles for them to make the playoffs at this point. Sorry, go ahead, Christian. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, it's all good. But yeah, I like Dallas. I don't think anything else really needs to be said.
To Monday Night Football. We got two teams going head-to-head, coming off division, winning a game in their division. First, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who beat the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday afternoon, going into welcoming in the Dolphins, who played the Jets and got a victory in that game. Devon Achane got hurt in that game against the Jets, and I'm not sure what his status is going to be in this one. I think he probably will play. Last time these two teams played was actually 3 years ago. Christian, 3 years ago, you got that on your memory? Who won that game 3 years ago? Dolphins, Steelers.
Dolphins, Steelers 3 years ago. I want to say it was Pittsburgh.
So that's another one you got wrong, unfortunately. Miami Dolphins won this game 16-10. Early game scrimmage, and Kenny Pickett threw 3 picks and did not play even remotely good in this game. Pratt Firebooth was the leading receiver for the Miami Dolphins, and Tyreek Hill for the Steelers. Sorry, Miami Dolphins had Tyreek Hill leading receiver in this game, 7 for 72. He's not walking through that door. Raheem Moster's not walking through that door. Mike Gesicki's not walking through that door. Trent Sherfield not walking through that door. Neither is Chase Evans for the Miami Dolphins. Very different version of the Dolphins going up against Pittsburgh. TJ, who's winning this game? Monday Night Football. A game that the Steelers absolutely have to win if they want.
Have to win. If Devon Achane doesn't play, Miami has no shot. They're not winning this game.
I would tend to agree with you. He's their entire offense.
And quiet as kept, Miami's won. They've kind of figured some things out.
So he's dealing with a rib injury, but it looks like it's relatively minor, and he should be able to play in this game.
Like quiet as kept, Miami's figured some stuff out. Like they have.
Yeah, they won 4 in a row. They 4 in a row since. But they haven't. Let's not pretend like they've beaten like world beaters here.
Like, all right, so wait. So they dogged walk Buffalo. Then you beat.
I mean, yeah,
Washington.
they did beat Buffalo. It was a pretty impressive win.
Yeah.
But those other 3 games.
Those other 3 games, it's like, yeah, beat up Washington. The Saints are terrible, and then the Jets are terrible. So now you're playing another quote unquote playoff team. Well, another playoff team, and
I mean,
you
and you're
are
gonna have to go to Pittsburgh where it's gonna be
and
cold.
you're gonna have to go to Pittsburgh.
We've seen what this
and
offense looks like and this team looks like in the cold.
yeah, we see how they prep for it. Mike McDaniel just turns the air conditioner all the way up in the practice facility to simulate the cold weather.
That's enough. That's enough.
Right. It's just like
what else? What else would you need to do, TJ? I mean, come on, that's enough.
Shut up, baby. Give me Pittsburgh.
Christian.
Yeah, I like the Steelers.
Wait, question, Dave. What was that look when I picked Pittsburgh? Was that the like? Why? I saw that, bro.
That was my hate Aaron Rodgers look.
Hey, he just looked so disappointed when I said give me Pittsburgh. He was so sad.
Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, I'm gonna deal with TJ after the show. I like the Steelers. Like, don't get me wrong, Miami's played well, but I just think the Steelers will be up and ready for this game.
I'm gonna take the Steelers as well. As much as it pains me to pick Aaron Rodgers, but I think that they're a better football team than Miami, and Miami just can't perform in the cold weather. I don't know what it is; they just don't travel. And Mike McDaniel, yes, he's bought himself enough time to make it through the season, but I think he will be fired on Black Monday on the final week of the regular season. That's all. That'll be all she wrote for the Mike McDaniel experiment in Miami. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us here at Week 14 Monday Night Football Recap Show, and we previewed Week number 15. If you like what we're doing here at Prime Sports World, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. I'm, of course, your host, David On Point Huffman, my co-host, Mr. T.J. Hopkins, and from the Daily Blitz.blog, Mr. Christian Simpson. And if you want to go check out any of his analysis, any of his breakdowns on games, that's on the Daily Blitz.blog. Gentlemen, what do we do here at Prime Sports World?
We bring the heat.
Yes, sir. I'll be back here tomorrow with Fantasy Football Weekly. Hopefully, Izzy will be joining me back on that show as we get you ready to enter into your fantasy football playoffs. You don't want to miss that show. Should be College Football Showdown, as well as they're going to break down the teams that made it and the teams that did not make it into the College Football Playoff. You can see that on Friday. You all take care and stay safe out there. Peace out, gentlemen.
See ya.